Welcome to another episode of Perfect Team 23. But this is just not any episode. Gang, this is the 50th episode of this series. Wow, I can't believe it's been 50 episodes of the Rocky Mountain Gladiator career so far. And I want to thank all of you right off the bat, whether you're a viewer that has been with the channel from the beginning or whether you've just stumbled across it over the last week or two. Thank you so much. You guys drive me to keep creating content with OOTP for the channel. So thanks for all the comments, the support, the likes, the views, and we'll keep plugging away over the next 50 episodes too. But I want this to be a special episode, something unique that kind of sets itself aside from previous episodes. Because 50 is a big number, right? You celebrate 50 birthdays, 50th anniversary, all those kind of things. So this episode is going to be a retrospective of the team. We're going to look back at the highs, the lows, successes, and failures of the Rocky Mountain Gladiators. And then next episode, we'll get back to our regular routine. So I hope you enjoy this episode as we look back right from the start of the Rocky Mountain Gladiators. Since I haven't made an episode like this before, I don't know what the structure is going to be like. We'll just kind of go with the flow. Again, I can't believe it's been 50 episodes since May the 5th when that very first one came out. And I like to think I've improved maybe the flow and the filming style of each episode, and I still want to continue improving as time goes on and hopefully start live streaming either on YouTube or Twitch some material to go with the current series. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in. Let's take a look back at our gladiators. I'm just going to start with the history and our team successes and failures. We started off in the entry pool. All teams start there. And because I started right out of the gates when the game was released, we got placed into the highest level at that time, which was silver in 2022. We struggled in silver because as a free-to-play manager, tough to get those really good cards. You have to pull them in packs or save up perfect points. So we went down to bronze, where we were really good in bronze, made the playoffs, went back up to silver for 3 years, made the playoffs, up to gold, and then up to diamond. So we were doing really well the first 5 or 6 seasons. And then we got kicked in the butt. Couple seasons in diamond, which dropped us down to gold. But because we were kind of one of those teams that was really good in gold, but really bad in diamond, we managed somehow to win our first championship. And that was the gold level championship in the 2030 season with a kind of a unimpressive 86 and 76 record. But hey, we got our championship. Love it. And then we went back up to diamond where we struggled. So it dropped us back down to gold for 3 seasons, made the playoffs, pushing us up to diamond where we've been ever since. And as you can see, the current season is not a very good season. So unless we make some dramatic improvements, we're probably going back down to gold again. But I think that, in a few seasons or so, I can build up a team with a competitive roster that's going to at least keep us in diamond. I do have over 390 packs right now. I think I'm going to open up a bulk of them with the new Negro League Series 2 coming out. And hopefully I can either sell off duplicates or complete missions to improve the roster. We're getting there, but we'll look at our current roster later. When we look at our team and our players, this is going to be the most fun part for me, looking back at who has been a gladiator and how they did as part of the team. To do that, all you have to do is go to Manage Cards, go to Player List, and on the player list, you want to make sure you have the right settings. So you go to Entire Organization, So all the players that have been in your organization, as long as you still own the card, if you've sold them out, you're not going to see their stats because you don't own the card anymore. So keep cards of players that you've used if you want to look back on them. And then for the scope, you want to look at all levels because, again, we've moved from silver to bronze to gold. For the time frame, you want to go down and select career. Otherwise, it's just going to show you the current season stats. And now you can go and you can rank by any category here to take a look at all the players that have played for your organization. Even the ones with the real low WAR, as you saw at the bottom. And remember, if you want a few less categories, you can do that simply by going to the Customize feature and choosing the different categories that you want to show as you look over the career of your team. So what I've done is I've created a custom batting stats career, kind of narrowing down the categories to what I would want to see. And these are kind of what I think are kind of some of the key ones, some of the cool numbers to look at. The other thing is when you're looking at your players, if you bought a card from the shop and they played for other teams, there's a chance it may show those stats as well. So when I look at the batting stats for Fred Carroll, all of his career has been in Rocky Mountain. However, if I look at someone like Richie Ashburn and open him up, he's had a few seasons outside of Rocky Mountain with this OC team, and I haven't quite found a way to filter that out so it only shows our team. So unfortunately, we don't get a picture of the stats from just their performance in Rocky Mountain. However, anyone that's played at least one game is going to be on this list here, as long as you, again, still own that card. If you've sold it off, they're not going to show here. So again, keep your cards as long as you want to look back and look at the stats they performed with your team. All right, so let's just take a look at some of the players that have been part of our franchise way back, and some of the early ones or more recent ones. Ross Barnes. Ross Barnes has played most of his career in Rocky Mountain. Over 1,900 games in his career, a batting average of .295 and a WAR of 21.6. So I guess he's probably played the most games of anyone in Rocky Mountain. Quite a career, almost a 300 hitter, and a lot of that's been in diamond and gold. He does have, again, over 671 RBIs, and he's selling for about $40,000 on the card shop. He is one of those limited editions. There's only 100 cards of him out there, so that's why his price is fairly high. But I like this card. He served us well in Rocky Mountain, and he's returned to Rocky Mountain in 2039. A few other seasons he's been up and down, but I brought him up recently to kind of back up and play against the lefties with Joe Morgan in the other platoon position at second base. Hank Aaron, the second most games in the career. He has been in Rocky Mountain his entire career, so he's a true gladiator. Current team captain, 1,731 games, a 46.2 WAR, and over 370 home runs. You see all the achievements for Mr. Aaron. 7 Players of the Week, 4 times a Batter of the Month, and of course, he was a member of our championship back in 2030. So always going to have a fond place for him. He's still on the team. His performance has struggled in the last couple seasons because, again, as new players come out, he's going to be kind of pushed down the pecking order in terms of quality cards to have. Number 3 in games played, Nomar Garciaparra. Kind of a surprise one. He's selling for quite a bit on the card shop still, about 45,000 perfect points. He has played all his seasons in Rocky Mountain right from 2023, almost from the very beginning. I like this card. He's not going to give you much in terms of defense. His ZR is going to be pretty lousy, but he has performed 303 in Diamond, 325 in Diamond. He's had some really good seasons and has played on the team every year. I haven't sent him down at this point. Eventually, yeah, there'll be better cards that I want that I can acquire, but right now, he's still a gladiator. Number 4, an old one from the past, Tito Francona. Tito has been on Rocky Mountain right from the beginning, 2022, and played all the way up until 5 seasons ago. I've had Tito, he's been on the team in 2022, very first season, all the way up until 2034. So 5 seasons ago, I had to finally cut him to make room for other quality players. But I've got a fond place for Tito because Tito was our MVP in the World Series in 2030. He was our best player in that World Series championship. So he's always going to have a place in Rocky Mountain history. His career, again, he did fairly well. 308 in gold, 302 in diamond, a WAR of 13.2 overall. He's had over 1,800 hits in his career and close to 900 RBIs. If I would have kept him for a couple more seasons, he would have hit a couple major achievements. And if we drop down to gold, I may bring him back up just to kind of get him some of those achievements. I'm loyal to my players to a fault. So Tito. And the number 5 position, 1,594 games. The toughest decision I have made is to send down Mr. Mel Ott. Pulled him in the first set of packs for the team in 2022, and he has been our team captain up until Hank Aaron replaced him at the 2033 season. I struggled sending him down. I just wanted him to sit on the bench and be part of the team, but with a low average below 200, I couldn't justify it. It just wasn't there. He's strong defensively, always has had a strong ZR zone rating season in his career in the positives, but I've not been able to, again, justify a position for him on the team long term. So Mel, I love you. Over 200 doubles, over 330 home runs, a 25.1 WAR, lots of achievements in terms of your great Gold Glove awards, and you always will be a champion because you were on that 2030 team. All right, let's take a look at our hit leaders, some of the same players. Ross Barnes, Tito Francona, Hank Aaron, Garciaparra, and Fred Carroll comes in at number 5. Again, his entire career in Rocky Mountain. Finally had to send him down this season because I did pick up Joe Mauer and King Kelly, 2 of the better catchers in the league. So I couldn't keep him around any longer. He was our MVP in the 2035 Division Series. Great card, really good player. Had some strong seasons in terms of average and a career average of 274 with a 28.4 WAR. Again, a tough decision, but when better cards come along, you have to replace those guys. In terms of our home run leaders, Hank Aaron, Mel Ott, Tito Francona, Jimmy Fox, a guy we haven't talked about yet. He's been part of the team since 2026. Got him in a mission, one of the easier missions to complete, and sent him down about 3 years ago. Pretty good WAR for the time he was here, 12.7. Struck out a lot though. Big strikeout player, 174 home runs. Only a couple of achievements, 1 All-Star season, and of course, he was on that championship team. So Mel Ott, Jimmy Fox, number 4 in home runs. And number 5, Willie McCovey. A recent addition 5 years ago, played his entire career here, and he's moving up that home run leaderboard fairly quickly. Strong card, strong player. He's probably going to be on the team long term because there's not many quality first basemen out there that are going to replace him. Probably have to take a platoon role at some point because he's stronger against the right-handed hitters, as we can see from his ratings here. But a card that is going to serve us well, I think. And he's going to move up within 3 or 4 seasons. He might be our overall home run leader. Let's take a look at RBIs. Hank, Mel Ott, Tito Francona, Ross Barnes, Nomar Garciaparra, top 5. In terms of WAR, a stat that I find useful, Hank Aaron is blowing away the competition. Fred Carroll, Ott, Barnes, and McCovey. Stolen bases. Well, we know who that's going to be. That's going to be Cool Papa Bell. Let's take a look at his card. All but 1 season in Rocky Mountain. So he's had over 550 stolen bases in his career, but he's a card that's probably going to be replaced very soon. He probably won't stay on the team much longer because once OOTP modified their base running a couple weeks ago, he's fallen off. He's gone from 56 to 34 to 11 so far this season. And I can't keep him on the team with a low average like that. Fielding, again, we see his career fielding stats, minus WAR player overall in Rocky Mountain in left field, but strong in center field. So I would have to keep him in that center field position, and he might kind of maybe be a backup guy for a few more years. We'll see which new cards come out. All right, what else should we look at here? Card value. On the card market, the last 10 sales, King Kelly is worth the most. I was able to get him for about $85,000. I got a really good deal on him, got him at the right time this year. Tom Gordon, another limited edition card, selling for $93,000. Mort Cooper and Joe Tinker, top 4 in terms of overall value. All right, let's take a look at our pitching stats for the career. Just make sure I've got all levels and career. And let's take a look at games. Here we go. Most games, Tom Gordon. So Tom Gordon has been part of Rocky Mountain for about 2/3 of his career and has now 332 saves, a 16.2 WAR. You see his ERA over the years, kind of been up and down, a little bit of a roller coaster. 68 wins, 88 losses. So he's not going to be a guaranteed bullpen guy. He's going to have his good years and bad years. Dave LaRoche, one of my favorite players. Of all the pitchers, he's probably my favorite pitcher right now. So Mel Ott, Tito Francona, Hank Aaron, Dave LaRoche in terms of pitchers. I did a feature on him in one of my episodes, and he's been part of Rocky Mountain from the very early days, 2024. He's got more wins than losses. He's chipped in 66 saves and has almost 1,000 strikeouts. He's going to reach that milestone soon with a 6.1 WAR. He has a championship. He's been reliever of the year in 2025 and one All-Star appearance. Way to go, Dave. Zach Britton, number 3 in terms of games. Zach Britton has been on the team quite a while, since 2028, all in Rocky Mountain, 500 win-loss record. He does have 99 saves, so he's closing in on that milestone, and a WAR of 1.3. Again, he's kind of just been that reliable player. You know, a few seasons, a little bit of a high ERA, but so far he's still got a place in the bullpen. I haven't removed him yet. All right, in terms of wins, Mark Pryor leads the Gladiators with wins. He has been in Rocky Mountain from 2025, about a 500 record. with a 4.29 ERA. Very easy card to get with the live missions. New players, you want to achieve him as quickly as possible because he plays well right up to the diamond level. There's probably even a couple perfect teams using him up there. Nolan Ryan, 1 win away from 100. All in Rocky Mountain, 12.0 WAR, and definitely our strikeout king. Over 1,700 strikeouts. He was the AC Wildcard MVP in our championship season, only one All-Star appearance, and of course, was a member of that winning team. Mort Cooper, more of a recent player that I've picked up. You'll see that he's only been in Rocky Mountain about half of his career. Much better win-loss ratio, about a 4 ERA, 14.2. He's a guy that, there are better pitchers out there, but ones I can't afford right now. So eventually he will be replaced, but he's going to stick as my number 3-4 guy for the near future. All right, let's take a look at strikeouts. Pryor, Ryan, R.A. Dickey with over 1,000. Way to go, all in Rocky Mountain. That knuckleball working well for him. Win-loss record, he's below 500. He's got a fairly high ERA, 12.6 WAR. But again, he's been a strikeout king and part of that championship team. And let's take a look at the WAR. Here we go. Pryor, Kevin Brown, one of the best pitchers currently. Get him, complete that build a lineup mission. Get yourself a Kevin Brown. He's only been on the team for 6 seasons, but he's done really well. 3.5 ERA, 20 WAR. He's got 828 strikeouts and 4 All-Star appearances in his short time here. Way to go, Mr. Brown. Saves, Tom Gordon, Zach Britton, Dave LaRoche, Tug McGraw, Roy Face, and holds kind of an unknown stat a lot of people don't pay attention to. LaRoche, Face, Gordon, McGraw, and Britton as the top 5. So there were our key players over the last 16 or 17 seasons. Of course, many other players were part of the team as well. I can go down and there are some guys that, were part of the team for a very short time. Joe Evans, a 54 rated card. He was on Rocky Mountain that very first year, 232 average. But hey, he's still part of the legacy. He was probably in those first starter packs, those 6 packs that you get to open up. Christian Vasquez, the historical version, was on the team right at the beginning, played about half of the season, 250 average. We can't ignore these guys, or at least I can't. Like to go back, Garrett Anderson in a 60 rated card, first season, didn't do too well, 133 average. But again, they're still part of our team. Felix Mantilla, a guy I use all the time in my bronze tournaments. He's got really good hitting against the lefties. He was on the team for a couple seasons and again, faltered once he gets up to that silver level, but a player I'll always remember as part of Perfect Team 23. Ty Cobb, I'm sure a better version will come out soon. He was on the team for a couple seasons, did fairly well, but again, just better cards come out. Jim Gentile, I remember using him for a couple seasons, 4 seasons in Rocky Mountain. Not a great average. Didn't stick around long, but did hit 68 home runs. So it's kind of cool to reminisce a little bit. Frank Baker, a newer player. I won him in a tournament. So this was a free card. Only been here for a couple seasons, but I'm interested how he will progress. Very good the first season in Diamond, not so much this season. He may not be here long. And let's take a look at one other player, JJ Hardy. I like JJ. Really good defense. Batting stats, not the best. He was here for 5 seasons and put up a pretty good WAR, mainly based on his fielding stats. So we see very positive zone rating for JJ Hardy. And finally, to look at some of those early pictures that we used over time, look by game started. We go down and we have, Bob Smith, a 66 rated card. Larry Christensen, another good bronze tourney card. Noah Syndergaard played for us for a short period of time. Frank Larry. Again, Frank Larry was a spotlight player. I like Frank Larry. Yeah, brings back some memories. Take a look at him. 4 seasons in Rocky Mountain. Yeah, Turk Farrell. Another guy that I remember well. Only played 3 seasons, but I think I did a spotlight on him in an episode. Francisco Liriano. Didn't play here long, 5 seasons, but he did have a stronger win-loss record than many pitchers I've used. Brings back some memories. Save-wise, some of those early relievers. AJ Minter, Sid Fernandez. Kind of keeps bouncing around up and down with the team. Clayton Kershaw. Very cool to look back on some of these players. Well, I think that is going to do a wrap on the retrospective for the Gladiators. I wanted to do this for myself, but also for those of you that have been watching for so long, taking a look at our team, how they've done over the years. They don't give you as much statistical information as the regular play in OOTP, where you can look at Hall of Fame and you have a deeper history background. I wish they would do that in Perfect Team. I get why they can't, because every season kind of reboots the servers a little bit. We've got our one championship. Hopefully, within the next 50 episodes, we'll get another one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me this episode. A little bit different than others. I hope you have a lot of success in your team and your play. Leave a comment. What have you remembered from the Gladiators as you've watched over the years? Anything stick out? Any special feature that I've covered? Any season? Any anomaly with statistics that you remember as you watch? Anything from the pack opening? Yeah, it'd be cool to kind of reminisce in the comments of the things that, kind of are in your memory banks from watching the series. Have a wonderful day. It's been a great day for baseball for 50 episodes. Thank you guys. We'll see you next episode as we get back on track. And hopefully do something about this diamond record. Because right now, the Gladiators are on that cut line. I want to stay here. Let's see if we can pick up and improve the team.